Hi, this is Greg with Duf Makes It. And what you're looking at there is the submarine CSS Hunley, which is a Civil War airship. It's actually a submarine. And I thought it was pretty cool. Me and my wife were there a few years ago and I took these pictures of it. And I wanted to build a replica. And that's what we're doing today. So this ship is about 40 feet long, and my model is about 40 inches long, so it's about 1 inch to a foot. And it's a pretty cool looking ship. It's just a cigar shape. It pinches on the either end of it, which is a kind of a difficult thing to achieve, and make it symmetrical and even, and to where it doesn't twist or anything like that. So it's pretty impressive to be able to bend steel plates like that and get it somewhat accurate. Now this is a replica, of course, but the real Hunley was brought up from the bottom of the ocean several years ago. I'm not sure exactly what the date was on that. And to preserve it, and it had all the men inside of it still, the bones of the men, and they did a ceremony and all that for it. Well, this is just a replica of it, and it's not 100% accurate. I don't think it's close, but it's still cool. So I thought this would be a neat build to do, and I'm doing this out of paper. I'm used to working with paper, and so I decided to do that. And I made these oval shapes and start out with, and glued paper to the edge of them to make them sort of like bulkheads. I mean, the real ones would have been a hollow. Obviously, it would have had holes in them so you could walk through it. But so I made all these different shapes to the length of it. Most of them are the larger ones. Some of them on the ends, they start getting smaller and taper. And then I made them in sections. I put them together in sections, and then put the sections together. It's kind of like how they do real ships. They build them in sections now. Some of the older ones they didn't do that way, but the newer ones, the military type ships, they do. I was in the Navy for 4 years, and it's kind of interesting to me. Here's some more of the sections that I made and have started gluing them together. And there's the end where I'm starting to put the ends on it, and you can see how hard it is. It's not quite smooth. It's kind of hard to get it smooth and accurate and all, even with paper. I put 2 layers on it, I believe is what I did. I put 2 layers of paper. The first layer, it was a little wompity, so I went ahead and put another layer on it, and it helped smooth it out a lot. Made it look a lot better, and it made it a whole lot sturdier too. It's pretty sturdy, but it's super lightweight. It doesn't weigh hardly anything. And there it is. Fuselage is put together, and then there's one of the hatches with plating on the side and on the top that I'm starting to do. I made a base for it so it would sit there, and those bow plane things there, they're called planes. They're wooden. They're made out of wood, so the dowel that holds them goes all the way through the ship. That way I would get them on the same level. Here I am starting to add details. Same kind of details that were on the replica. And again, this thing is like 40 inches long, so it's a good size. Here's the screw on the end that I'm starting to put on here. On ships, they're called screws. On airplanes, they're called props. So it's a little navy stuff there, and that long wooden stick on there, they had that on the bow of their ship, and they put a bomb on the end of that stick and it would ram other ships, and that's how they would sink another ship. And then because it would blow up that long pole, and they just go get another one, put on it, and do it again. I don't know how many ships, or if they even sank a ship with this, but I know that the men didn't make it. There's a nail. I used 1,300 nails in this thing. It was a lot of nails, a lot of drilling tiny little holes and poking tiny little nails in there. But it didn't really take as long as I thought it would. It was not that bad. And then here I am painting it, and it's kind of a satiny black. And I painted the screw and some of the other little details on the back there. I painted them a gold color to make it look like brass, because the screws on the ships, or most of them, are made out of brass. They do make them out of other things, but they mostly make them out of brass. There it is on the back. It looks kind of cool. Add some detail. There it is again. It's kind of neat to see in the gold and the black. And that's all paper. And those two rods there are two sticks. As a matter of fact, they're two like meat skewers. I think that's what I used on those. And there it is with the base. I made a wooden base for it and stained it and clear coated it. And there it is, fully assembled. It's longer than 40 inches actually. The ship is actually 40. That stick extends out, so it's, 50 something, 60 inches. I mean, it's a pretty good long thing. But it's cool that it's that big, because it sitting on my shelf, it looks really neat. Well, that's all for this week's video. I appreciate you coming and watching and looking at the things I'm building. Come again, check it out for another build. Thanks a lot.